pawn to e4.
Job done. Care for a game? Always. Checkmate. Not yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Atratzu, and today I'm going to talk about my experiences playing as a free-to-play character on Hearthstone. So some stuff that should probably be addressed first and foremost before we get into this. Actually, let's just cover the basics that I like to start before all my videos. I like to say, first off the game, clear this is Hearthstone. The developer is Blizzard, of course, and then it was released March 11th, 2014. So something also that I should probably add is that I've been playing this game free to play not since launch. I started a few months before the Secrets of the Old God, Whispers of the Old God, Whispers of the Old Gods Hearthstone. Very unprofessional not checking that out ahead of time. Whisper of the Old Gods. So I started several months before the Whispers of the Old Gods came out, and then I got all the stuff from Whispers of the Old Gods for free, and I was able to jump into the game. So something to keep in mind is I come from the perspective that a lot of people will spend money on Hearthstone, and if you spend a lot of time playing Hearthstone, it makes sense to drop money into it. I would personally do calculations, be like, okay, I've played for this many hours, I can spend this much money, but I would track how much money I would spend on Hearthstone. But I just kind of play daily, check in, do my dailies occasionally, build up a fair amount of gold, and then use that gold to pick up cards if I feel like I need them, or just work with what I have, and Hearthstone's random RNG will sometimes help me, other times it won't. But I'm going to talk a lot about the different strategies and approaches. First, let's just talk about Hearthstone as a whole. Hearthstone itself is pretty straightforward and simple. Let's jump into one of the first things you see in the game. You start out in the game, basically walks you through how to play just from the start, but I would rather just explain it against a normal difficulty AI. So you've got all your decks, you have different classes that you can choose from. These are my custom decks right now that are being demonstrated. You start out with basic warrior, basic priest, basic shaman, etc. decks. Let's start out with one that I think... This is what you start out with. You start out with a mage deck, but I'm going to go with... Everyone can see what terrible judge of character I am. Let's do warrior, I guess. And we will go against a mage. Classic World of Warcraft arrangement. Mage versus warrior. They'll be fighting till the end of time. So the way Hearthstone works, it is a card game in the same vein as Magic the Gathering, but I will not be contrasting and comparing the two. I'm just going to talk about Hearthstone for now. So this beginning part of the phase, you're given these cards, and you're like, which one of these do I want? Let's get rid of those two, and we'll take these, so we'll get rid of the high ones. There are different strategies and different approaches, and I'm not going to try to tell you which strategy to take. My strategy is win me some games, but don't win me all the games. Alright. Let's talk about some of the things you should notice first about the game. So first, let's mention the card. So the cards themselves, you see you have a sword there with a 2, and then you have a red droplet there, and then you have a 1 inside of the red droplet, and then a 1 inside of the crystal. Each one of those is important to keep in mind. So, first off, let's talk about the crystals. Those are mana crystals. And each turn, you get an additional mana crystal. So you can only summon lower cards at the beginning of the game, and then as you get higher mana crystal counts, you can summon multiple lower level tiered cards, or you can summon more of them. So we are going to use this coin. Since we're going second, they gave us a coin. We'll use the coin. We'll drop that. We have taunt. Now, hopefully, that will take care of some of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So this taunted character should take care of almost all of these. Unless, of course, that hero fires off Firebolt. We'll see what happens. Okay. I'm not going to explain everything that's going on just yet. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we're just going to focus on what the different numbers mean. So the red is the health, the yellow is the damage that it does, and the blue is the mana cost. So Hearthstone's extremely simple interface already at a glance lets you know, okay, these are the cards that I can use. Let's drop this one. And then let's use up the last of our mana crystals by getting armor and using that move. There is a maximum number of cards you can have in your hand. I believe that it is 10. I would need to check that again. This is a really big hand, and you don't want to get much of a bigger hand than this, to be honest. There's the move I wanted. So you got two different types of cards. You have spell cards, like the two that I just used this turn, and you have minion cards that you can put on the ground, which act as kind of a shield, kind of a potential damage that you can do to the enemy player. And the complexity of the game really starts to ramp up, but you get the hang of it pretty quickly, I think. So let's drop the Berserker here. Let's finish that card off. Oh boy. Increase the damage, does one of that. That's lame. Each class has a different hero power. For the warrior, you gain armor. For the mage, you can do 1 damage to anything. You can do 1 damage to the enemy hero. You can do 1 damage to the minion. So if the AI is playing smart, it'll do 1 damage to this character, destroy it. Still has enough mana. Oh, that card might do it. We made it. There it is. Finishing off that minion. What? Well, I did not expect that to happen. So I guess then we will use this to take care of this, and we will use this to take care of that, and then we will play that. Which will then buff my Cthulhu. This is a very, I would say, unpopular. It's unpopular with people on YouTube to use a Cthulhu deck because it's overused, and that's what everyone's doing because, or at least that's what everyone was doing. It's a little bit different now. The meta changes over time. I don't have anything else to say about it, really. Let's do that. 7. Trade that off. Equip a weapon. Defense up. Hit him to the face. So hopefully this isn't too fast. It probably is for anyone that is new to Hearthstone. But my whole thought process is you just size up the attack, health, and cost of the card, and that's what you compare to it. So you compare stuff like that. Let's summon our Cthulhu, which is a legendary card. We'll get into card rarities in just a little bit. And we are almost done with this game. Now you will notice that I've been clicking the end turn. If I don't click end turn, there is a limit to how long you can wait. A rope will show up, which will then slowly, or a wick that will slowly burn down. Once it hits that, it'll force me to end my turn. Okay. Ha! I'm against an AI. I can do whatever I want. So we'll do that. Then we will use this character, and let's do that to do 1 damage. Let's pick this up. Destroy a damage enemy minion. So I can't even destroy my own. So we'll just do that and finish off this round. So that's a good start, I think. Let's talk about the different game modes, and then we'll go back to the game. So just giving people a quick respite from talking about the cards themselves. Let's talk about the different game modes. So first off, you have play. This is your standard mode that you're going to do. There's no chat, so you cannot communicate or hear back from other players. You can emote other players, and you can emote to the frustration of another player, but then you can also squelch an emoter that's spamming you, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Side note, So if you get into play, you can choose between playing ranked or casual. You can also choose between playing wild, which lets old cards be played, or standard, which only lets a certain number of cards to be played. The reason why there's two choices here is because as time goes on, Blizzard takes some cards out of circulation. This is a way of monitoring and ensuring that the game is balanced even as you continue to add new cards. By taking old cards out, you are able to control the balance of the gameplay a little bit easier. So that's why there are two features here. So if you play wild, as you can see, your rank does not carry over, so you have to play through wild again to get through all the ranked ones. I personally play a casual because I'm a filthy casual. I have no aspirations to be good at this game. I log on occasionally to grab my dailies and leave. Next, you got solo adventures, where you get to play against the AI, or you can play against different wings. What are these called? League of Explorers. What are these called again? Adventures. These are called adventures. So Tarzan, League of Explorers, Blackrock Mountain, and Extremis. And there is incentive to play these games because when you play through them, you will unlock cards that you can then use. So here, if I was to buy the Opera Wing, these cards I believe are still a part of the main set. So I would then be able to get Barnes? I want to read it Barnes. Squash Burglar. I want to say Squash Burglar. Wicked Witch Doctor. Kindly Grandmother. And plus 6 more cards. So you'd unlock these cards if I was to buy this and then play through it. Now you can buy with gold, or you can buy it with actual real life currency. Real life currency. That's how you know you play too many video games. With monies. Real life monies. So you can choose between what you want there, or you can buy the full adventure, which is probably the better deal if you just bought everything in one setting. But I haven't crunched the numbers. You can also unlock new ones from the beginning, and you just unlock it chapter by chapter by using the currency. As you can see, I have hoarded up more than enough that I can play through and pick up all of these different cards. Sometime I might want to do so. I'm actually familiar with these cards from playing tavern brawls. So you will end up coming across these cards occasionally, and it will help you to know what they are. And some of them, of course, are in wild. So that is the solo adventures, where you play all on your own against the AI. Some games are more difficult and dynamic than others. My favorite so far has been this one. There was a tavern brawl that was based off of this one. Basically, you played the chess game like you would in Kara, if you are a World of Warcraft player. In Kara, there was a chess event where everyone controlled different chess pieces, and you played against Medivh, who was a dirty cheater. Is a dirty cheater. Yeah. It was fun. Definitely really fun in that, and it was fun here as well. This was by far my favorite wing chapter mission thing. It was very different from the rest of the games where you kind of choose your own deck going in, you use that deck. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Then you have the arena. I don't even touch this. You need to pay to get into it. I believe your first one is on them. You have to pay currency of one type or another to get into it. I think the price might have gone down. You make a deck out of random cards that they give you, and then you see how far you can get. If you get far enough into it, you are then given rewards at the end of it. And the better you do, the better your rewards. So if you're really, really good, you might be able to make the currency back that you put into it. I don't care, though. Not going to do it. Then, of course, you have the Tavern Brawl, and right now it'll be back in 16 hours, so I don't have any samples of Tavern Brawls to give you. A simple Google search, though, will yield the results of Tavern Brawls and the different rules that they have. This is by far my favorite part of the game. Tavern Brawls always mix up the rules and do wacky, weird things to the game, like imagine your deck is only made up of legendary cards, or your deck is only Death Rattle minions, or it's a specific custom deck that's currently like one of the decks that they intended you to play in the latest expansion, but you can't get because you don't have those card packs yet. Moving on, you have here the shop button. Nothing to say about this one. You have the welcome bundle. This is actually the bundle that I've considered buying. Yeah, I'd have to buy it with real money. I can't buy it with in-game currency. This is something that I have considered purchasing, though, because it would definitely be good. It always shows the latest expansion here, and then you can buy one pack for 100 gold. You can do the same thing for regular ones, or you can pay real-life money for these. The animations are so good for this game, just saying. And you can buy other ones that are several farther expansions back, like the old gods when it came out. Now you can buy it back, but the price for all the packs are the same, which is slightly unfortunate, but also kind of makes sense. It'd be nice to be able to get more of the Ungoro packs, but sometimes you can get free ones. You got the adventure. You can buy the full adventure there. You can also buy heroes. Again, though, you can only buy them. You cannot... You can only... The heroes that you buy here, you have to buy with real money. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. Alright, then you have your quest log, and this is nice because then you can look here, okay, play 20 beasts, that's an easy quest, I want to keep that one. Destroy 40 minions, that's an easy one, I want to keep that one. If you don't like one, you can re-roll one quest by clicking the X, and then that will change it and you'll choose something else. You got your hero levels. As you play through the game, your hero will level up. When you start out, all these heroes are at 1, and I believe you need to get them to either level 10 or 20 to unlock all of the starter cards for that class. So definitely do that if you're playing free-to-play, because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need as many cards as you can get, so level them up to max if you intend to play those classes. Then, of course, it gives you stats, your total wins. Oh, gosh, don't look at that. Don't judge me by those. Arena wins, total wins, I'm not that good. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. Then you got open packs. Of course, I have saved up some packs so that we can open them all up at the end of this recording session, and we can see if there's any luck there. If you want to skip at that point, you certainly can, but just know I'm saving 11 packs so everyone can watch them be opened, and we can all ooh and ah if I get anything good, which I probably won't. Then you can click on your collection, and then you can filter through your collection by how much mana a card has, or which deck it's a part of. It's a part of the Ungoro deck, the Gadget Sand deck, Kara, Old God, Classic, Basic. And then you've got the different class cards: Druid, Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior, Neutral. Neutral is able to be used by any deck. So, if we wanted to make a deck, say we wanted to make a Druid deck, alright? First off, you go down here to the bottom right, new deck, Druid, choose. And then it gives you samples. You could choose the Mighty Dino, and then that shows in this pre-built deck how many of those cards I have. I don't have all of them. If I want to build or craft these other cards, then I need to go sit down and figure out which cards I need. So for like, yeah, no, I can't do that. Or the Golden Lotus deck, or the basic Druid, which I'm only a few off. I don't have this card and this card, and this is the one that it gives you for a classical Druid. I don't know how well this deck stacks up. It looks like it. Yeah, that makes sense. This would be a pretty good deck that you could run, or custom deck, which is what I always have to do. And then you choose between the cards that you want. So let's look at the basic set. So you'll need to figure out for yourself which of these cards you're going to use, and you're not going to have access to all of these. Not right away anyway. I know you'll have Core Hounds, which you'll find in some of the basic decks. These ones are pretty good to have in your decks. I ran a lot of healers early on as well. I tried some of these cards, some of them. It's always good to carry Swamp Ooze so that you can destroy enemy weapons. That's very useful as a beginner in knowing when to play those cards. If you're going against a mage, it's a useless card, but hey, at least you have it in your deck. And then you choose between spell cards which you think might complement or help you through the game at different points. So you want to try to pick up what you can. Now you'll notice that there are several different types of cards and rarities. So I don't actually want this deck. We're going to get rid of this deck. So there are different rarities for cards. So let's talk about that. So if you think back to your days playing Pokemon out in the parks when you would trade your commons for uncommons and your uncommons for rares and whatever the conversion rate for that was, you've got several different qualities of cards here. You have a standard card. This is part of the basic set. Uncraftable. Basic cards cannot be disenchanted or crafted. So this card you just get as you play through the game. You get golden cards. Now you can disenchant. It's a basic card, but you can disenchant it, can't you? Oh, it's part of the basic set. Here we go. So that one, you just get a golden card eventually. So you just unlock golden basic set cards eventually. But you can get a golden card, and you can disenchant golden cards for a lot more dust than disenchanting the normal card. And golden cards don't do anything different except for they have this cool little graphic aesthetic. So from a free-to-play standpoint, I really don't have much to gain by keeping my golden cards around. I just do it because I am truly down deep into my core. I am a hoarder, and it's a problem, and I will never get through it, but I'm hoarding these cards because for some gosh diddly dang reason, I want to have my golden cards that I've gotten in my packs. So I haven't disenchanted any cards, actually. So my entire collection is unedited. I have crafted a couple cards. I crafted both of these cards for a druid deck that I felt like I needed to make, that I played for a bit and then didn't do anything else with. Don't judge me. So you've got the gold, which is symbolizing that it's rare and that it's worth more if you disenchant it. Now you have like the card itself. So can we have, here we go, classic, common. No. Okay. So no, you see there's nothing here. That's part of the basic set. You see this white orb here. That's indicating that it's common. Then this blue indicates that it's rare. And then purple indicates, where's the purple? Purple indicates that it is an epic. And I don't have any legendary druid cards, so let's move on to someplace that I know I have legendary card for. Paladin. My best card right here. This is a golden legendary card, so this is just good all around on all accounts, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of this card in any way. You can get regular looking legendaries. You've already seen Cthulhu. Let's see, where is, here we go. So this is what a normal legendary card would look like, is just this around there. And it's got the orange there indicating that it's a legendary. It gives credit to the artist as well, so that's cool. So that kind of gives you a bit of an idea. You can make the different decks. You can choose to make decks and then do classic, or make a custom and then make it completely out of whatever cards you currently have available in the basic and otherwise decks. So let's, for the sake of, stop. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Oh no. I didn't want to actually do that. It auto-completed it to help me. Let's make a really simple deck. I know how to play this one. I had to make a deck like this for a tavern brawl a little bit ago. So let's just set the filter to basic so you can see just some of the cards I choose. I'll choose these two. I like these two. I like these two. Whoops. That one's useful, but I don't carry it around. I like those two. Apparently Mind Blast really wants to come along. Alright, we'll pick those up. We'll pick these up. We'll pick those up. And then we'll go in here. Let's pick two of those up in case we go against a warrior. Let's pick two of those up. That's a good one. I followed a guide early on from Icy Veins, which recommended certain cards to be used. And so I'm going off of my memory of how that deck looked. So we'll see if I can still use that correctly. Alright, do we have any other spell cards? Let's add some randomness to it. Alright, so we're going to use this deck for our next game, alright? And we're going to play against an actual person this time. So we're going to do custom priest. You could customize the name that you wanted and give it a specific label, but not really necessary. You click here, you go through it, and then it finds an opponent. The queue times in Hearthstone are remarkably fast. You don't need to wait that long for somebody. Here we go, somebody's already shown up, as shown by the game freezing. Any second now. Here we go. Here we go. Any second now. Don't make me a liar. Here we go. A worthy opponent. If you read the other notes there, there's some funny Blizzard humor in there. So we're against Gul'dan. This will be quite the exchange. Healing versus killing yourself off. So I like having low mana cost cards early on in the beginning. This will come in handy. I like keeping this card around because it destroys minions that are out of reach. So if something gets super overpowered above 5 attack, I can destroy it really quickly, and that'll protect me for part of the game. So let's play that. So now we can be polite and say, whoops.
I greet you.
Greetings. There we go. Now if this person was really, really obnoxious and started like taunting us, I am a little babyface and I don't take taunting very well. So if somebody starts taunting me, you right click on them and then you squelch, and then that makes sure that you cannot see their emotes. However, even though you can't see their emotes, the stuff the character will say over time is still going to happen. Now let's talk a little bit more specifically about some of the cards that I've chosen. So this character here, every time a minion is healed, I draw a card, and that's what this lightning bolt symbolizes, is whenever I do a certain action, that happens. Now this creature here that we drew has a battle cry. Battle cry, every time that you play this card, it battle cries. And this battle cry is to restore 2 health to all friendly creatures. So I like having him around if there's a bunch of damage on the board. Alright, let's do this, and let's do that. And that would be useful to have. 4 health. This minion's going to destroy me, so let's heal up here. Okay, let's see where that gets us. That way at least his succubus isn't just going to take him out and finish him off. So this is when the game gets more fun, is when you have to make decisions on, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to attack the face? Are you going to try to clear the board and have board control? What you going to try to do here? I right now don't have a very good set of cards. This card is right in between my destroy a weak minion and my destroy a strong minion. This could work to my advantage though, because this warlock's, there's a very, 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 very small chance he'll have any cards that'll equip a weapon, so there's no point in carrying the Swamp Ooze around to see if he ever equips something. It'd be better if I can trade my Swamp Ooze for his Succubus. Oh boy. But now he thinks he's safe because he's got a taunt one, but we have this, which will let us destroy that, and his attack is under 3. So we can do this, get rid of that, and then we can do that, and swap for that one out. We can drop that card there. And now we're in pretty good shape. Should we do this? Yeah. Let's drop that. Increase the health. Bam. So that spell card lets us draw a card and increases the maximum health of another card by 2. If you ever miss anything, you have a short amount of time to be able to go over the activity feed on the left side to see what happened in the game. Games can sometimes take a while to play through. So this is one of the newer cards that I'm not that familiar with. Okay. So it just basically lets him get more elementals. Okay. This card would be a good one to play, and we have enough mana crystals to do it. Let's do it. So now we'll wipe that. Do 2 damage to him. Heal myself for 2. That card is far more effective at... Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens, though. He might have something to destroy me with, too. It's always a possibility. And adapt. Oh, boy. If you played an elemental last turn, adapt. So that's why he played an elemental, because then that played into the next card that he wanted to play. Wind Fury lets him attack twice. We have one that'll let me destroy a minion with 2 attack or less, unless he buffs it. He did not buff it. So we will want to play this. And we will want to play this. And there's nothing that we can do about destroying that, so let's hit him in the face. So this summoning portal reduces the cost of his minions by 2, but not less than 1, so he doesn't get to summon anything for free. So sure enough, he was able to summon that one, which that's kind of inconvenient. I would rather he not be able to do that, but there's not anything I can really do about that right now. However, we can get rid of this, destroy that minion. So now he summons 3 of those, so that's kind of the inconvenient part. We can drop this. And, ooh, we shouldn't drop any more. If I drop any more, there's a few cards that the Warlock has that will clear the entire board by doing 3 damage to everybody. So I don't want to fill up my side of the board because he'll play one of those cards and destroy them all. So that's not a good idea. I shouldn't do that. However, I want to have more cards so that when I play the Frostwolf Warlord, this card will be buffed up more. And right now I only get the advantage of 2. 1, 2. I'm not seeing much else to do with this. And again, mind you, we're very limited on the cards that we can use because I just set us up with a very basic starting deck, which you won't have all the cards, all these priest cards out from the get-go, but you should have most of these cards, and you can improvise with one way or another, and you just play for a few hours and you'll get them. So again, that card is just right in between where we actually want it to be. Let's, oh dang it. 5, let's drop that. That. We don't have any conversion moves yet. Let's do a big heal for everybody. And let's heal ourselves. Depending on what he does, we might be able to drop the Frostwolf Warlord next turn. It's nice that we still have a Shadow Word Death, because if he drops... that would have been a nice one to have another card for. Discard a card. That was smart. So he doesn't have any cards to discard, so it's really smart that he does that. So now he'll life tap to get another card. Might not be anything that we can do to get out of that. At this point, I personally would go for the face and I would ignore the cards, but apparently he would rather clear the board. Guess I can't blame him. Alright, depending on the cards that we draw... Chillin' Yeti, not a bad choice. I feel like we're going to need something with a bit more oomph. Okay, let's go with 4, 5, 6. Let's try dropping that. Drop a heal. 3, there's no real way to incentivize him not to attack it. So he's probably going to attack it. Unless he got a card that can destroy it, he'll probably hit him with the Succubus and the Primal Fin. Now you can't do that. Stay away from my Chillin' Yeti. This is a good card to have, by the way, stat-wise. Doesn't have any other extra perks to it, but it's a good card to have as far as stats are concerned. And his Ultrasaur... He might be protected, but unfortunately, he's not out of reach from our Destroy 5. And this is our final safety card. Once we get rid of this one, we don't have anything else protecting us from it. So let's destroy that so he can't hit us in the face with that. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Let's drop a heal on everybody. And let's heal that up. Next turn, we will summon the Frostwolf Warlord and hope that he doesn't get the fiery 3 damage board clear, which we'll see. Does he have it?
Bring me steel.
Nope. Okay, he's gonna life tap even though it's getting there. He's out of cards, 2 player, both of us draw 2 cards. Put a random card from your opponent's hand into your hand. Hopefully he's got a good card. Wait, 5, doing that much damage to those. Let's see what he has. Oh boy, that's not a good one. Do 2 damage. Let's do this, this, this. And he doesn't know which card I have in my hand yet. Let's do this. And we'll do that. So now he knows what I have. But that lowers the cost, the mana crystal cost. So he knows which card I copied. So we'll see which card he's going to play.
Blood and plunder.
Okay. Okay. So that was the only other alternative card that I could have gotten. Well played.
Well played.
I think this is going to be the end of the game. So, let's play this card. Play that card. Play that card. Let's hit that. I've definitely committed to this one by playing these, both of those. Oh crap, there is one card that he could play that could destroy all the cards on the board. I think it's unlikely that he'll have it in his deck though. Yeah, there's corruption. I still get to have 1 attack with him though. And this is the end of the game. Any second now. End of the game. If you're going to take forever to do that, then I'm not going to finish you off immediately. I'm going to destroy yours as well. You might suicide, though. So let's drop that. And finish. Well played. Ta-da! So there you go. That is a win with a casual game with a basic card deck. So it's doable even against people that have higher card decks. If you end up going against anybody with like a ton of legendary cards, there's a really good chance you're not going to survive until you pick up some legendary cards. That'll help supplement your deck and make it easier to play. Like said, I got a bunch of Cthulhu cards, and so I run a bunch of Cthulhu decks, but you can do it even if you missed the Cthulhu bandwagon. You can pick up the cards, and you just might get lucky. Some days, I have some really, really crappy Hearthstone games, and on those days, I just stop playing. I'm just like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I have had quite enough. Nope, no thank you. I'm done. Hopefully this has been educational or informative in one way or another. If you have any questions about anything, be sure to leave a comment once the video is done. We still have some packs to open because I made a promise. Atratzu is going to make good on his promise. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything that you'd like to know ahead of time that hasn't been answered in this video, please do ask and I will do my absolute best to answer them. Let's get with the card pack opening. Let's open the basic packs first. So, I never noticed that there's this cool little animation type thing. I learned this by watching Krendor, actually. I'm just like, what? And then you can mouse over them and be like, ooh, what did you get? Oh, is that a legendary? I think we got a legendary on the first pack that we get here. That's a rare. And then two commons. So these are the common ones you got. These are the 2 rares. Legendary. Man, first pack. Let's keep this going. This is good. All right. It's because I'm recording. I'm sharing my experience with people. Just 1 rare and a bunch of commons. All right. But some common cards I have used, so it's not a loss really. Okay. And mind you, I didn't buy any of these packs. I have bought in some packs. There we go. Wow, that's nice. Doomhammer. I have used my gold to buy packs before and to buy other things, but none of these packs you're seeing here are from buying. These packs are picked up from doing daily tavern brawl. Oh, come on. We got 1 legendary, so I guess I can't really complain, can I? Looks pretty good. These are all part of the standard set. The nice thing about the standard set is that these cards should always be available, I believe. I think that's my understanding of it, is that you can always use standard cards packs. So you want to complete your standard card set because they're always going to be useful. And if we get any extras, we can put them into dust and then use that dust to craft stuff. So we got some cool stuff. Nothing that I'm too excited about yet that I'm just like, I'm going to use that immediately. Got an epic. I've seen that one before. That one, take control of it and 2 or less attack. That could be useful. I don't really use that one much. Alright, here's one of these ones. What do we get? Got a bunch of commons. Cards are useful, but I don't have enough of them ever normally to use them. Can I just double click? Guess not. Alright, these are with the newest expansion at this time. We got one rare. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it. That's nice. Okay, these are some useful looking cards. What do we get here? There's an Ultrasaur, so that card that guy played against me, there it is. Charged Devilsaur. Battlecry. Can't attack heroes this turn. So once you play him, you can't attack a hero immediately. It's an interesting rule. And that Stegosaurus, that's a good useful tanking card. And yeah. Again, another set of cards that it's just like, yeah, they might have their place and they might be used, but I'm probably not going to do anything with them. And yeah, if you get cards that you have extras of, which, let's see here. Not that one. Let's see here if we can find one that we have. I'll spare you the details of needing to mouse over each and every one of these, because that's what I'm gonna need to do. 2 of those. Is it gonna actually say 3? Because you can only have 2 in a deck, so I don't know if it's actually gonna tell me if I have 3 or not. That was my first Argent Defender. I've seen that card around a lot. I don't even have it. Yeah, no luck. Anyway, this will filter through it automatically and determine the ones that I have more than doubles of, and so I can disenchant the cards. So I've got 24 common cards and 3 rare cards that I already have 2 copies of it. So we just disenchant them. Then that is the arcane dust that we get if we wanted to craft something. So let's see here. If we wanted to craft something, we switch to the crafting menu. Say we wanted Jade Idols for a Jade Idol deck. We could craft it if we wanted to cough up 100 arcane dust to make it. And I don't care to make it, actually. But then you can go through and you could go to like the highest ones and be like, okay, this was one of the cards that's recommended for the standard set, so I could craft that one, actually. I have enough dust. But I've saved up a lot of dust over time from just getting extras. So there you go. That's how you can filter through that. Also, cool little filtering thing, by the way. If you ever wanted to know, you can type in taunt to find taunt cards or cards with the word taunt. And you can type in battle or battle cry to find all the battle cry cards there, or death for death rattle. And so you can filter through that, or you can search like specifically a card that you want, like Dalaran. So there you go, Dalaran Mage, the card with Dalaran. You get the idea. So that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, my name's Atratzu, and hopefully this video was of some value to somebody. If they're wondering if they can get into Hearthstone free to play, you certainly can. It might take you some time until you start winning more games than you lose games, or at least feeling like you have a chance of winning them. Just, if there's anything you can take away from this video, take away this. Know that you can beat somebody else's deck even if they have legendaries and you don't. So don't be too intimidated by legendaries. Try to figure out strategies and ways to get around people with legendary cards by using other cards that are not legendary. And that'll help you out in the long run later on in the game. Like for the priest cards that I picked up, where I destroy minions that have above and below 3 attack and above 4 attack. So anything in that area, I've got cards that'll provide a safety net that I can use to play through that, and then just learn to feel your way through it. It's a fun game. It's casual. There are a lot of competitive people that are doing it. You can get into it and play it in a relaxing sense. It's playable on your tablet, on your phones, so there's a lot of different stuff that you can do and enjoy playing the game. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching. My name is Atratzu. See you next time.